Welcome back to Caddy Corner.
I'm Caleb.
And I'm Austin. And we're back, episode 7.
Yep.
And this episode, we're going to talk about high school. High school's almost over for you guys, probably. We're hoping that we timed it almost exactly right, actually. That was one of the reasons why we came up with this idea for this episode.
Yeah.
So, obviously, Caleb and I just finished our first year of college, graduated high school the year before that.
Sure did.
And, high school was cool. We had a fun little time, but we just want to kind of talk about, like, our perspective on, like, the high school kind of life that you live and what you should know, and then, like, a little bit of advice for all you guys because life keeps going after high school. So the first point that we kind of want to talk about was, like, the best and the worst parts of high school. So, Caleb, take it away.
All right. So I'm going to start off. I'm going to do worst and then best.
All right.
Say the best for last. So I think one of the worst things about high school is the schedule.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I think that it's not really that it's that bad. It's just so different whenever you get to college. And so, like, in college, you have a schedule where you go to class at these certain times, and then whenever you're not in class, then you don't have to be on campus. But in high school, you have to schedule classes all day long, even if you don't need them or whatever. And not that that's a bad thing. I think that's a good thing to, like, be able to keep track of where all your kids are, like, a certain part of the day.
Yeah, we get that idea.
But like, going to college and then looking back on that schedule, no way I could go back to that,
No
like, ever.
chance.
It's kind of crazy. But I do get it. And the second thing that I think is, like, the worst thing about high school is learning about stuff that you're never going to use in the real world. So you have to take all these classes in high school, but you're never going to use again. I can tell you whenever I use, like, geometry or, like, algebra in the real world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Or even like world history.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So those are my worst things.
Yeah.
So you can go ahead and say your worst
sure.
things
So
if you want to.
I pretty much agree with everything that you said. Those are definitely ones that are brutal. I will say something different for the sake of, like, interestingness for the podcast, but something that's tough, and this isn't something that I experience, or I don't know about you, but having, like, maybe, like, limited choice of actually interesting classes in your high school.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you and I lucked out with the studio, and so
Yeah.
and, like, I acknowledge that that's, like, a lucky thing that we kind of stumbled into just because of where we live. But, like, imagine if you live somewhere where, like, those kind of classes aren't offered, and so then you can't study, and so then you never get the chance to, like, try.
Right.
Like, basically you're entirely limited just by, like, where you live, and, like, that
Yeah.
can suck, you know, because then every one of your classes could be one of those classes that's a waste of time class that you're
Sure.
just taking because you have to take. And so that's something that, because, like, with college it's different because, like, usually you would pick the college that you end up going to based off of, like,
What they offer.
exactly, and you don't get that choice with high school, at
Yeah.
least not traditionally. So that's something that I think sucks about high school. But then, like, the schedule, brutal, so much wasted time, and then like, I think, like, mandatory graduation requirement classes, a lot of those are wasted time classes unless you're like interested in, like, the traditional, I don't know, like,
Or if you're going to school for education.
like, if you want to go to college and become I understand what you're saying. Yeah, if you want to go to college and you want to be a teacher,
Yeah.
then it's very important that you know what it's like to teach
Right.
10th grade math.
Yeah.
But for me, less important. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So some of the best things about high school that I have on my list over here are the opportunity of meeting people. I think that is one of the biggest things about high school, because if, like, I'm speaking for me personally, if I went to high school and I wasn't friends with any of the people that went to school there, I would have no motivation to go to school.
Yeah.
So I think that, like, meeting people is, like, motivation enough for people to go to school, which I think school is great, and I think that everybody should go. And so that is one of the best things about high school. Another thing is I actually put being able to take classes that you actually enjoy. And I think that our school did a good job of that, especially, like, our last 2 years, because they started this thing called the renewal system. And so that is basically a thing where it was more, they focused on, you need to know what you want to do if you're either going to, like, go into the workforce, if you're going to go to school, or if you're going to go into the military. And then they based, like, what classes you took off of that information that they got from you. And so like, and I guess it's like different for me and you because I look at that and I see I am going to go into this field so I can take all of these classes because this is what is offered at my school. Exactly. And I'm sure a lot of people didn't feel that way. And I guess that goes back to the point that we got lucky. So maybe I'm going to not go that deep into that kind of like rabbit hole there.
I think that that's a really good point. Like, I think that, like you said, with like being able to take classes that you actually want to take, I think that, like I said, like take our school out of the equation. Like, I have a hard time thinking that there's not at least one class offered at your school that you would like find some kind of interest in.
Yeah.
I think if you, and this is kind of going down the rabbit hole, so I won't ramble for too long, but I think if you like actually commit yourself to like learning the subject matter and like getting all of what you can get out of whatever class it is, even if you think that you're not going to like it that much, you might have, but if you go to the class and you hate your life and you wish that you were anywhere else and you don't like actually apply yourself, then yeah, you're going to have a terrible time in that class. Right. And so like, I think it requires like some effort from the student body to 100%. Actually have an interesting or have an enjoyable time in any class. It doesn't matter if the class is like something like really cool, like, I don't know, snowboarding. Yeah. If you like decide that you just don't ever want to try snowboarding and you don't ever like apply yourself, then you'll never know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So. And I guess maybe I am going to go deeper into that too, because like at our school we had like a ton of different electives at our school. So like I remember they had like dance class. Yeah. Like I know a ton of people who love to dance. Yeah. So like that's kind of one of those classes where it's like you can go to that class and find some kind of value in that class, even if you hate going to high school. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So yeah, I totally understand that. So for me, the best thing about high school is, like you said, meeting people, but I'll take it a level deeper, and that's like the sense of community. That's something that I've touched on a ton throughout this podcast, but I'll kind of just reiterate. So like whenever I say like the sense of community, that's finding people who are interested in the same thing that you are and who are also like motivated to do whatever it is that you're interested in, like at like a higher level. And so like a very easy way to think about that is like the football team. Like the football team, everybody on that team, theoretically, likes football and also wants to be better at football. Yeah. In our case, was the studio. Everybody in there wants to create content, and everybody wants to be better at creating content. Yep. Dance class. Everybody that's in dance class, theoretically, likes to dance and wants to get better at dancing. Yeah. So to me, that's the best thing about high school, and that's because you never really get that again unless you're like actively seeking it out. It's like the last time that you're ever going to be in a position where it's just like on a silver platter. Like here is people that are interested in the same thing as you. Go. So I think that's probably the best thing about high school. Yep. Yeah, for sure. And then otherwise, high school sports are fun. Yeah, I was going to put that too. Enjoy the fun parts of high school too. Yeah. Yeah. At our school, baseball was the vibe, so I guess you wouldn't really know. Kind of. But like, yeah, I mean, I was kind of on the baseball. But not as like a spectator though. Yeah, no. I understand. Because football was not exactly our school's forte. No. Yeah. So, but we had a good baseball team, so it was fun as a spectator. So, but yeah, I think that, I mean, there's a lot of great things about high school, but yeah, I think something that I said earlier though was like, high school's only worth your time if you apply yourself. Yeah. So, otherwise you like will hate it because it's like it isn't designed to be fun. Right. You have to like make it fun. That's exactly right. So, and like if you don't apply yourself and really give it like the time it deserves, then you are going to hate the 4 years of your life. And that's, I mean, it's up to you, I guess. But yep. Yeah. So the next subject matter of this podcast is what should you know whenever you're done with high school? And this is like very subjective, but something that I'm going to not answer this question yet, but I want to talk about this. So like whenever we were freshmen, I like a lot of people, whenever we would have like South Block and we would talk about like what do you expect to learn out of high school, a lot of people would ask for like how do you do your taxes and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Do you think that matters? Like do you expect, looking back at it now, that high school would teach you how to do your taxes? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I agree. No, because that is, I don't want to say it's like so complicated, but it's like complicated enough to where people in like our parents' generations have to pay somebody to do their taxes for them. Yeah. It's like
you go to college to learn how to do taxes if you want to do taxes for your job. But I think it's like also one of those things that can be simple enough to where like our generation can do it online.
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
like we could figure it out on our own. Just because like I think that's kind of where we're at in the world. And so doing your taxes, no. And then I also remember people used to like want to learn how to write a check.
Yeah.
Like I can't even tell you, I've never wrote a check in my whole life.
Why would you?
Like I have a debit card.
Yeah, so does everybody.
Yeah, so
I was going to say that same thing. Yeah.
Like a debit card is pretty much an electronic check.
Yeah.
So
and it like doesn't waste your time, and you don't have to remember a PIN.
Yeah.
Like a physical PIN.
Yeah, like a PIN.
Your PIN number.
Yeah, your PIN number.
Your PIN number. But like I was thinking more of like, imagine if we went to our seminar. Those who know, and we went and sat down, and it was just a lecture about how to do your taxes.
Nobody would go.
Nobody would go. Like everybody would just go home.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, I understand.
What I think that this goes right into the question here is like I think that high schoolers have this like weird warped perspective of like what they actually need to learn coming out of high school.
Yeah.
And so to me, the most valuable thing that you can learn in high school is how to like properly interact and treat other people that are in your age demographic.
Yeah,
like,
I think that's huge.
Whenever you spend, and like we went to a small school, but whenever you spend like 4 years straight with 650 people who are all in your same age demographic, and you have those interactions, like being able to do that properly, to me, is the most important thing that you can learn in high school. It doesn't like nothing in the books is going to teach you anything like at that same level.
Yeah.
Just learn how to communicate and learn how to be like a stand-up citizen.
Yeah.
To me, like that's something that everybody can learn in high school as long as you like apply yourself and like have conversations and make friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that is the most important thing that anybody can learn in high school.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. So I took more of a like technical standpoint on this, I guess. And I said that like the one thing that everybody should know after high school is like what their next step is.
Yeah.
So I think like our school did a good job of this being like, are you going to enroll into a school? Are you going to join the workforce? Are you going to join the military or whatever? Like your next step is like, that's something that you should know whenever you're walking across the stage of graduation.
Yeah.
Just
or
because
earlier.
Yeah, well, obviously. But I think there's nothing wrong with like taking a semester off of school and like waiting to go to college. But I feel like, I don't want to say a majority, but I feel like it is easier to never go back to school after you take a semester off.
100%.
Or like after you take a year off.
Yeah.
So I think just like being motivated and going straight from high school to college and like making that jump, or like going straight from high school to the workforce, or like going straight from high school to the military, if that's what you want to do, that is the best thing that you can do, because whenever you take time off and like maybe you were like a part-time job, and then it's just hard to be able to be like, now it's time to put the pedal to the metal.
Yeah.
Whenever it's like you should have been putting the pedal to the metal in like junior year of high school.
That's also like more of a waste of time, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because like, what good is a semester's worth of time spent at a part-time job going to actually do you in 10 years? None.
Yeah, because like, where are you going to work a part-time job? Like, if you work a part-time job at like a grocery store, like, yeah, you're going to have like customer service skills, but like, what are you going to do? Because like, the real world, are you going to stock the shelves?
And well,
like,
and
wherever,
because,
you know?
Chances are, though, too, your number one goal in life is not to have customer service skills. Like, it's not a customer service skill related job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, because then if you do that, then you'd be going to college for hospitality, you know?
Exactly.
So, yeah. No, I totally agree with you. I think I am like, we're so disconnected from that, where like we knew exactly what we were going to do. And that's because like you and I applied ourselves. Like that's going to be like the universal point, is because like you and I like put the effort in. But like there are a lot of people, I'm still fairly connected in the school because of, but like there are a lot of people who are like going, they're going to college, but like going as like an undecided major. And even that to me is like, what the heck are you doing?
Yeah.
But like I am like so disconnected from that, because I don't understand how you could not find exactly what you were looking for in high school. But that's because like you and I did. Yeah. So it's tough. Like
it's hard for you to see it from another perspective.
It's so hard for me to see it from another perspective. And like I even see like picking a college to go to as an undecided major. To me, that's like not something that even makes sense, because like I think you should pick your college based off of what they offer.
Yep.
And so I promise every college in the world offers an undecided major. So like that doesn't help, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think that it's really important to, I'm not saying have your whole life figured out, but I think high school is like a really good time. And I guess here can be my second point. High school is a really good time to like try things. And so maybe your high school doesn't provide you like a class that shows you exactly what you want to do with your life, but maybe like you could figure that out like online and then try it like in the time that you have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that that's something that's really important because I think not having a next step and having, or even having like a next step, but it's like foggy, to me, that's not anything, you know? Because that's where so many people get like that. And like, you can be like that after college too, where like you go to college for 4 years and then you like have your degree, but you have no job offerings, or you have like 3 job offerings and none of them are doing what you actually want to do. And like, because think about like, that's the same place as like being in high school, like at this point, and like not really knowing what you're trying to do. That's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just 2 wildly different perspectives, you know? So
right.
I don't know. I think it's really important, like you said, to just figure out what the heck you're going to do, like whatever your next step is. But like I would say even take it like a next level further than that. And like if you're going to college, pick a subject to study. If you're like going to the workforce, like go somewhere where you have like tons of room to grow because you're 18. You have so much more to like bring to like your life. Yeah. Or if you're going to the military, I'm not very familiar, but just like give it your all, you know, like really like put the effort in. Yeah. That's what I think a lot of people, I don't know. That's what you should learn from high school, I think. Yeah. Is learn how to talk to people and figure out a loose plan. Not exactly, you know, but some kind of a map. And that's really important. Yeah. Yeah. So the next topic for the podcast here, talking about high school too much, but we wanted to spend a little bit of time, and by a little bit, I mean probably like the bulk of this episode, giving some fairly specific advice to each class. So the freshmen now, the sophomores now, the juniors now, the seniors now, and just kind of go for it. Let's start at the bottom, the freshmen now. Okay. So, for freshmen now, you have like nothing really makes a difference right now. Yeah. Unless you were like very committed to something that you like already know exactly what you want to do. Just like try everything. That's my advice to freshmen, is just try everything.
That's exactly what my advice is.
Is try everything. Yeah. So I mean, like my more example is like if you're a sick athlete already and like you know that that's something that you're going to be for like the rest of your high school career, then my advice to you as a freshman would be to give that your absolute all. Yeah. Because the only way to be great at something is to give it your all as soon as you realize that you're great at it. Yeah. But if you haven't yet found that thing that you're like really good at yet, or if you're just kind of going through the motions, my advice to you is to just try all of the things.
Yeah. Because as freshmen, you're in like a special place in high school where it's like you have the opportunity to try everything. It's like you have nothing to lose yet. You have no time to lose. Like you might as well get out there and try everything while you have the time to try everything. Because I can promise you, the more you start going up in grades, the more of a workload you have and the more of like responsibility you had to take care of. And like you do lose that time to be able to try new things and like try the things that you haven't tried yet. So as a freshman, that is really whenever you need to have the mindset, I want to try everything while like I have the time to do it. So,
and I definitely understand too, like how that is like scary.
Sure.
Because like another thing is like in college, like nobody cares about what anybody's doing. And so like you can try everything and nobody cares that you're trying everything. Like it's not like weird in college to like launch a podcast and like do that. I understand that, like, as a freshman in high school, like, you probably would get chirped. And, like, you just have to be okay with that. But, like, no, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference at all. Yeah. I guess my second piece of advice for freshmen is, like, don't let what anybody, like, tells you, like, dictate what you actually do. Like, don't care about what other people think. Yeah. Because, like, that's just, like, a really bad mentality to get into, especially, like, that young. To just, like, already be worrying about like what everybody else is like thinking, because that's what high school is. Yeah, you know, like you're around a ton of people who are the same age demo as you, and so like they're all judging you. Like that's just how it is. Right. But you can just like get over that. And like I have a hard time with that too, where it's like I don't know how to give advice because like I don't care. Yeah. So it's tough again. You know, same thing with earlier, but my advice is just like literally, like you said, just try everything. And even try things that, like, people are going to think that you're lame for. Because here's a good way to think about it. Like, let's say that you play, like, a weird sport. Like, water polo,
Mm-hmm.
especially here. What the heck is water polo?
Yeah.
But like, what if you're sick at water polo? I promise you, it is cool to be the best water polo player in like the state. It's cooler to be the best water polo player in the state than it is to be like the 750th best basketball player in the state.
Yeah.
So even if it's obscure, just like give it a shot, because why not?
Yep.
What the heck are you losing?
That's exactly right.
Exactly right. For sophomores, my biggest piece of advice is like find your friend group and like pick a good one.
Yeah.
Another thing that like we never had an issue with, like we picked a solid friend group and it was about then, and then we just like existed and kind of did our thing.
Yeah.
Like, and I understand that that's difficult, but like talk to people, figure out what it is that you like want in like a friend group, and just like find those people and get connected and eat lunch together and make jokes and have fun. But
Yeah.
pick a good friend group because that makes it so much easier.
Yeah. My advice to sophomores is like, I think sophomore year is where people get in like the most awkward spot with like the actual schoolwork side of it. And like, I know my sophomore year is like the most unproductive year of my entire life.
Yeah.
And I really fell short like grade wise. And so my advice to sophomores is like, don't let that happen. Don't let all right, I'm already tired of this. Like, you know, because like whenever you're a freshman and you like are doing like high school schoolwork, it's like you're super motivated your freshman year because like you want to make a good impression or whatever. And then like sophomore year comes around and it's like, dang, I already did this for a year. And like after this year, I still have 2 years left. So like you can really get unmotivated.
Yeah, burn
and
out.
So I just like, my advice to you guys is don't get unmotivated because like it really is going to go by fast. And so I know like I thought like, oh man, I have so much like time left. And
Right.
so why am I going to work this hard for this much time? But it really does fly by, and just don't let your motivation get low and just keep going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I also do agree with you. This is like the best time to find your friend group
Yeah.
and pick a good one.
Yes.
Like, just like you said.
It's the key. I think that's like one of the major keys to like our success as like high school students. Like everybody that was in our friend group like did stuff.
Yeah.
And even like now is doing stuff. Like that's important, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. My advice for juniors is the same as yours for sophomores.
Yeah.
Where it's like for me, junior year was the hardest year. It's just like, and I don't know how it works with like other schools. For our school, that's just like where all the hard classes stacked up. And junior year for us was also COVID, so it's tough. But
yes.
my advice, because I've said this forever, chemistry, the only reason I passed that is because of COVID.
100%.
100%. But my advice to the juniors is like, for us at least, it was the hardest year in high school. You just have all your hard classes. So just like put your head down and get it over with and just like grind. It's tough, but it is what it is. Senior year is much less productive. You have much less. You have like maybe 3 classes that you actually like need to graduate,
Right.
if you do it the right way. But like junior year, just grind it out, and then you can like throw it in neutral senior year.
Yep.
But junior year is a tough one. But just like, you know, do your work, grind it out, like put the hours in, but also like have fun too. Like don't get overwhelmed.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it is still just high school. It really
Yeah.
isn't that deep. But like, don't short end yourself for
Yeah.
sure. That's my advice.
Yeah. Totally agree with you. All right. So for seniors, I have this written down in this way, and I like the way that I wrote it, so I'm just going to read it off my phone. And so for seniors, I say, it's time to start grinding and working towards your goals as hard as you can. If you don't know your goals, then try everything and figure out what you love so that you can do it for the rest of your life. And I know that is what you say like all the time. Find out what you love and then do it for the rest of your life. And I live by that.
Yeah.
Because like that's what I'm doing. You know what I'm doing? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I just want everybody to be able to do that because like work is not work if you're doing what you love.
Exactly.
And I don't want anybody to work a job their whole life that they hate, you know?
Yeah.
Just because like
What are you doing?
that would be a miserable life. And so
yeah.
Senior year is so cool because you really do have the time to like try a lot of new things, especially at school.
It's almost like freshman year again.
It honestly is. And you have like you said, you have maybe 3 classes, maybe like 2 classes, maybe even like 1 class. Like, I mean, a lot of people can graduate early senior year. And like the rest of the time, like you can either take electives or like we did internships. And so like that is such a cool opportunity to be able to like try a lot of things just to see if you love them, and then like find that thing that you love and like be the best at it. Because as soon as you do that, as soon as you find the thing that you love and you're the best at it, like then that is whenever you get the opportunity to do it for the rest of your life. And that is my end goal in life, is to find what I love and do it for the rest of my life. And I think that that is like a good goal for everybody else at the same time. So that's my advice to seniors.
I think like I would say exactly what you said too. Like you said it perfectly, I think. And I also think that like what you wrote was like the perfect like manifestation of like what we did senior year of high school. Like it's exactly what we did.
That's exactly what we did.
We figured out exactly what we wanted to do. Came back from COVID, did it, became the best at it, like left a legacy.
Yep. That's all you can do. That's all you can ask for.
I think that's all you can do. To me, like I remember walking into high school and like thinking in my head, like the goal, like the ultimate goal would be to figure out what it is, like figure out a way to leave a legacy on this place forever.
Yep.
Like, that's exactly what we did.
I think we did that.
And so, and like you can do it in other ways too. Like we did it in a way that was like breaking into new fields, like from a media perspective. But like you can do it as an athlete. You know what I'm saying? Like you can just set the strike. I'm not saying it's easy to set the strikeout record for your school, but like you can do that.
Yeah.
So like, and obviously everybody can't leave a legacy because everybody can't break records, because if everybody could break them, then there wouldn't be records.
Yeah.
But like figuring out a way to leave like your footprint on the school or on whatever is very important, I think.
Yeah.
I really like what you said, where you get to try new things again. And I think that our try new things again was like golf.
Yeah.
That was fun, man.
So much fun.
So
and
much
like,
fun.
Like one of the best opportunities that I had in high school.
So cool. It was just like, it was awesome. That's for like a later time. This isn't the show for that one, but like if you were a senior in high school and like let's say maybe you like have found what you wanted to do and you are grinding towards it, like don't forget to have fun, and that's what we did with golf.
Yeah.
Like maybe you've always wanted to be on the basketball team. If you're a senior and you talk to the coach, he'll probably keep you.
Probably.
You know what I'm saying though? Like just like it's your last year of high school, and so like enjoy it as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
But like don't be an idiot. Just enjoy it.
Yep.
And like you still have, I mean, you're 18. You still have like 50 years of life left at least.
Yeah.
So like realize that even though you're done with high school and you're done with like the framework that is like the society like wants you to do for like your entire life, even though you're done with that, you still have so much more that you have to do. And that comes with ambition. And so just don't lose that. But I think finding what you love and just like actually like working on it is like what sparks that. Because if you and I didn't find like doing this stuff, like all that would like motivate me and get my fire going would be like going to school.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, man. So, but yeah, just my advice for seniors is just like put the work in. But like if you want to take senior year as like a little bit of a break, that's cool. But like realize that whenever you're done with high school, you still have a lot more stuff to do. So,
and I think that that's another place where people mess up, because I said that I don't think it's a good idea to like take a year off school, and I think a lot of people treat senior year as like a year off.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah. Well, I think so too, actually.
I think a lot of people like senioritis is real.
Yeah.
And I'm like thankful that that's something that I didn't struggle with, because like I was basically just doing this.
Too busy talking about football games.
And so I didn't really get the time to get senioritis, but I think that like that is totally a real thing, and I think that a lot of people get super lazy their senior year, and they're just like, oh well, it doesn't matter, because like no matter what I do now, like I'm still gonna graduate, which is
true.
Is a true mindset to have, but it's also like eventually you're gonna graduate high school, and then you're gonna have to go do something new, and it would be so hard for me to be able to like have like a breeze school year and then take like the summer off and then have to go to college. Like for me to like flip that switch from like summer doing nothing to college like full time.
Oh, dude, that's a kick in the gut.
Dude, that would have been so tough.
College is tough.
Yeah.
It's not like hard, but it's harder than high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that I would say. It's like just like kind of like the same thing that I've said with like all the other past grades. Just like don't give up yet, and like don't like get senioritis, because you still have to have the mindset.
Yeah.
To like be able to be productive. Just so. And like even if you don't have to be productive in school, which like you really don't, but just so that you can prepare yourself for the next chapter.
Right.
It's just easier that way.
Yeah.
So
I think piggybacking off of that, I think something that happens at our school a lot, and a reason why that can happen to a lot of the students that are in our position, like we're in our position, like are in there now, like they're seniors now.
Yeah.
Like I know people that have had like one class each semester, and so like I think that kind of sets you up for failure.
Yeah.
Because you're doing what, like 2 hours a week of like things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like I mean, like you have class all week, but like do you have homework? Probably not. And
No.
if you do, it's from one class, so it's like 15 minutes worth.
Right.
And that is like such a good way to, I think, just like put your brain into chill mode.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people that are in like our age demo, they go through high school, they get into chill mode, they go to college, they also go through chill mode. And then about like halfway through, or like about like halfway through first semester, they realize that like they can't just like be friends with the professor and like turn everything in and like pass.
Right.
And you know, like that's a real thing. And I think by not taking classes that can stimulate you senior year of high school, that's like a tough spot to be in.
Yeah.
Because like you said, like you and I didn't have that issue. And so like I don't really have a perspective on senioritis because I was too busy playing with cameras. But like I couldn't imagine like taking like a stacked class of like just like mind-numbing classes. Like
Right.
you just go and exist and you pass. Like that would be very negative, I think, for especially for like even if like let's say you're starting your own business, it's still negative for that because like starting your own business is harder than high school.
Yeah.
You know,
much harder.
You have to just do stuff. You know what I mean? But like in high school, you really don't have to just do stuff. You can just like really you can do like nothing.
Yeah.
And you'll do okay, which is profound. But yeah, I mean, I think that high school was like a very interesting time, and I think that the way that you utilize it like very much can like set you up for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But like we said, and I've said this a ton, is like you have to like apply yourself and you have to like give it the time of day. And you can't just like your teacher can't just give you an assignment and you be like, this is stupid because I'm not interested in this. Like that's just not the right mentality to have. Because with that mentality you will never find what you're trying to find in high school, or you will never like be able to get into that like go mode mentality where like you just have to like do the work.
Yeah.
And that's a tough spot to be in. And like I can't imagine ever being in that spot.
Yeah.
But that's because like we took a class for like a lot of our hours spent at school were spent in the studio.
Yeah.
And like that was very stimulating to us.
100%.
And so like I definitely have like a warped perspective on like what high school even is, because like the last time that I was in high school full time and not doing the studio, I was like 16 and I was taking like civics.
Yeah.
And you know how that was. That was not cool. So
not cool at all.
Not cool at all. So, but yeah, you got anything else?
No, I think that's actually a really good place to wrap it up.
Bing bong, boys. So thank you for listening to Caddy Corner again. Yeah. Video again. Hi guys.
Hello.
Hello. This is our first episode that's not the same length.
Yeah.
Sweet. Anyway, thank you guys for listening to this episode of Caddy Corner. Make sure to leave a review and rate the show if you're on Apple. I don't even know what you do on Spotify. I looked at the reviews on Apple. We have some now. How cool.
Nice.
So shout out to you guys who reviewed the show. Get your friends to.
Yep.
Leave a rating and stuff. Do all of the stuff down below. You guys know the drill. Share the show with your family and friends. If you're looking at us right now through this lens, subscribe, like, comment.
Yep.
Ring the little bell. It's down there. And we'll be back every Friday for the foreseeable future.
Yep.
So we'll catch you guys next time.
Peace
Peace out.